Hey guys, so this is going to be the last part of the Velociraptor Walk Cycle series. As you know, we had already finished like 90 to 95% of the walk cycle in the last video. In this one, we will be only focusing on some muscle animation, like we will be animating the muscle tweakers present in the rig to fake muscle effect or movements, and we might even put the walk cycle on a path and do some head turns and maybe a roar or something like that in a layer to make it more organic and dynamic. So let's jump into it. So this is where we left the walk cycle in the last part. We had animated the tail, the head and the fingers, the hands. So it's almost finished. So we can just animate these jiggle controllers now, and I feel we don't require them too much because this creature is not very big in size, and just for this walk cycle it might look too much if I do it excessively. So let's see, whatever feels right, we will try to animate it accordingly. Okay, so I'll go into side view first, and maybe this one, right. So usually how I animate muscle jiggles is I put a key. Okay, whenever there is a foot plant happening, after that I will try to make it move. So you can see the right foot is getting planted here, right? So after the foot plant, what I'll do is I'll go into translation Y, and after the foot plant I'll move it downwards, something like this. I don't like the influence of these jiggles, like it should have been more, but it's okay for now. So I'll move it downwards, maybe delay it one more frame, and then again it will bounce back upwards. So this is too much, I'll reduce the value. So it goes down, comes back up, and then let's say it again goes down. Okay, in after 3 or 4 frames maybe, and then it can go back up again, and then again it will become 0. I'll press Alt 1 and Alt 2 on my keyboard because these are the shortcuts I have assigned to turn on the infinity, pre-infinity and post-infinity. You can also go into curves, pre-infinity cycle, curves, post-infinity cycle, so that you see these infinity curves. So this is like too much and it's happening too late right now, I guess. So maybe I can move these keys 2 or 3 frames backwards. So now you can see along with the feet, the muscle jiggle muscle controller is moving downwards, which doesn't feel right. So maybe here I can just maybe move it slightly upwards, and then it can go downwards to show some follow-through effect. And I'll reduce the values because it feels too much for this walk cycle particularly. I still think it's too much, so maybe let's reduce it more so that it becomes a bit smoother. We just get a feel of something is happening, and it feels a bit faster to me. So I'll change the timing slightly. I'll increase 1 keys between each movement. So it would have looked better if the influence of this muscle tweaker was more. Like right now it's only controlling the center part of the belly, right? So it's not affecting this part. So we'll have to and the skinning is wrong in this. So you can see the lower belly part is affecting this part, but this controller is not affecting the lower belly at all, and same with the upper part of the body. So that's okay for now, so I won't complain too much. So maybe let's increase the timing a bit more so that it becomes a bit more slower. So that we just feel like something is happening in the tweaker part. So now we have animated the translation Y. I will also animate the translation Z so that it just moves in one direction. To make it more organic, I'll animate the translation Z also. So I'll put a key on the same frame, same starting frame. So here you can see it's going up, right? So maybe I'll move it towards the left. It's not a thumb of rule to move it left or right. I just do it randomly. So it moves left, and when it's coming down, okay, at that time it can move towards right, and then while coming back again up, it goes left, and then maybe right again. We'll see about the values later. I'll just animate it for now, and then it will turn into 0. You might have to increase the value slightly because it's not visible. So let's keep it like this for now. I'm not a very big fan of these jiggle controllers in this rig particularly, but I think this is good enough for the tutorial part. You'll get some idea of how to how and when to animate these things. So what I can do is, let's say I'll just do an experiment. I'll copy the exact same keys of this belly controller, okay, and then I'll paste the same keys on this thigh controller. It's hidden inside the body. I don't know, due to some reason. Maybe I can just move out the vertices, and then I'll paste the same keys on this controller also, and I'll check the axis is same, right? So Y is up and Z is sideways, so that is fine. Okay, so let's see how it's. I think this might work. Let's see. Something is wrong. Something isn't right. I don't know what happened. Suddenly the values spiked of the translation Z. I'll have to reduce these a lot. Oops, my bad. I'm using Animbot to do the same, so that it saves me some time instead of manually reducing everything. I think its translation Y is also, I don't know what happened, like this was unexpected. I think this is better now. I'll increase the translation by value slightly. Okay, now let's copy these keys onto this thigh controller. I'll save the file and maybe create one more version of the file, and I'll 05 and muscle controls path anim. So let's copy the keys from the time slider and paste them onto this controller, and let's see how it's looking. So on the thigh controller the values feel slightly less, so I'll just increase the values once to see how it's working. I don't want to push too much jiggles because you can see the foot plants are very soft, right? They are controlled. It's not like T-Rex, they are putting too much weight, like thum, thum, something like that. So we are not getting that much weight in this one because the foot plants are very smooth and controlled and very swift. So there's no point in giving too much jiggle in the thighs. If it was maybe jumping, right, and suddenly landing with a sharp timing, then I would have included more values in the muscle jiggles. But for this one I'll keep it low just to get some feel like something is happening. That's it. So let's keep it like this only for this. You can even copy the keys of the same curve onto this part. Okay, so the front one is controlling the back part and the back is controlling the front. Something is wrong. And you can offset the keys, but I don't think it's required. Let's see, maybe I can copy the keys of the side thigh controller and paste them on the back controller also to see what's happening. Yeah, you can see there's this movement, up down movement happening, right? So for the side part we can increase the values. Okay, my bad. So there's a difference in x's, right? So in this one the side axis is x, so the curve which is on translation Z, I'll cut it and paste it on translation X, because the sideways is this axis, right? So up down is Y and sideways is X. So let's see now. Yeah, you can see the bounce happening, right? So I think it's good enough for this particular walk cycle. And now I can just okay, so I was animating the left side, right? No worries. So I'll just select these controllers which I just animated, and I'll select them all, go to Animbot, make sure all the keys are in the time slider, click on this mirror tool icon, and I'll just right click on it and click on mirror to left because we just animated the right side, right? So and then I'll select these controllers, where it is, this one, yeah, this one and this one. I hope, yeah. I'll turn on the infinity. Oops. And this is 40 frames. I'll move the first frame to frame number 20. Yeah. Okay, great. And maybe what I can do is I can animate translation Y on this one also. It's translation X, sorry. So maybe here it goes up and then it goes down. Okay, the value is too much, and then goes back up and then down, and the same thing will repeat again for the second stride. I'll turn on the infinity. Let's see it once. Yeah, you can see the bounce happening in the belly, right? There's some skinning issue here also. You can see the underbelly part, so this is not right. Okay, leave it for now. It's a rig thing. And maybe I can copy the exact same curve of this underbelly controller, and let's say I copy the same onto this neck jiggle controller. Let's see how it's looking. Okay, so it's looking too much in values, so I'll just reduce the graph overall. It's still too much, so I'll reduce it more. Okay, yeah, so let's say I'll copy the keys of this one and paste the same keys on the second jiggle controller, and turn on infinity. So right now they both will move together. I'll do the same on this one also. Sorry. So all three are moving at the same time, so I can offset the values of the middle controller, so that let's say I'll move the overall graph by 1 or 2 frames, so that we get slight wave in the neck. Maybe let's try to increase the values slightly. So that it's visible for the tutorial. You can see the movement happening in the neck also, right? So because this is like a jiggly part, right? Like it's soft, and we can also do one thing. Maybe we can also animate it sideways. So this is translation Z. So when the neck is going towards screen left, maybe I can counter animate it towards screen right slightly, and then when the neck is coming towards the screen right, I'll move it towards the screen left. So basically counter animating to give some feeling of offsetting. And same happens again in the second stride. I'll put more keys if required, but let's see how it's looking for now. I'll just tweak the graph. Okay, so yeah, the keys are very less. It can go here back again. So it's too much. I'll reduce the values. So we can definitely work on this more to polish it, but I think this is good enough for now. Reduce the values slightly more, and I'll copy this exact same graph on this one, because in translation X, the first and last controller I had kept the exact same keys on these two, and I had offsetted the keys on the middle one. So I'll do the same. I'll copy the same keys of translation Z but on frame 3, so that you can see there is slight offset happening between these 3 controllers. And we can reduce the values of the next 2 controllers. So overall, so maybe let's say I'll reduce it twice, and this one I'll reduce it more, and maybe for translation this is X, right? Oh, something is wrong. No, this is X. Yeah. So yeah, looks good enough to me for this one. And so let's talk about putting this walk cycle on a path. For these, obviously we can definitely do it manually also, but that will require more time. Maybe I can create a separate video to showcase the manual animation for how to put it on a curve and make the walk cycle walk on a path. But for now, just to save me some time, and I can even recommend you, I use this script called walking bend tool. It's it's an amazing script to put the creature on a path, or even a bipedal character or a multi-leg character. So I can share this with you. I can share the link. If you go, and yeah, it's basically from Pavel Barnev, and it's like a walking band tool. So he has, I know this is like a bit more costly, but it's completely worth it. So what it does is, let's say I'll just save the file once, and turn on infinity for all the controllers. Something is wrong with this one, I guess. Yeah, the first and last frame is not same. Let's check it. Yeah, it's same now. Okay, so our cycle is like 40 frames, right? So let's change it to 400 frames. So it will keep looping for 400 frames, and as you can see, we have this option called create curve from selected animated object and time range. Okay, so what we can do is, okay, I'll have to put the forward animation from the global control. So what I can do is, I'll go into side view, turn on this field chart. Okay, I'll minimize the script for now, and let's say on frame 0 I'll try to put the point of this nail on the center of the grid, and I'll animate the translation Z, and on next frame I'll put one more key on translation Z and try to match the point again to the center of the grid. I'll make this animation linear. There's another way to do the same, but I prefer it like this. So now you can check frame 0 and 1, it's not sliding back, right? So now I can select this curve, go to curves, post infinity, cycle with offset, because I want this curve to continue till the infinity, and same with pre-infinity, cycle with offset. So let's see if it's moving forward now. Yeah, it's working properly, there's no sliding happening. So now I can reopen the script, and I'll select the global controller, and it will create a basically it will create a vertex to control the curve every 20 frames. So you can change that value from this part. I'll keep it 20 only for now, and select the global controller and click on create curve from animation. So it will take the distance of the global controller from the starting to the ending, and it will create a curve with 20 vertices, or you can say curve points. I hope the video is recording. Yeah, it is. So after you have the curve created, you can select the curve and click on this arrow icon which says set selected curve. So I'll click on this. You can see the name of the curve was curve 1, and it's appearing in the script now. So the next path is next option is, we can create controllers for the these 20. Right now we'll have to go to vertex mode and then move the curve points individually. So we can even create controls for these points. So you can select the curve and click on create curve control. So you can see it has created this FK chain of all the curve points on the curve itself. And now I'll select the body parts which I need to put on the path. So basically those will be the head, because it's moving individually, it's an IK head, the chest, the hip, the root controller, and both of the feet controllers. Currently the hands are in FK, so I won't be selecting them. If they were in IK, I would have selected them. And I'll also select these two pole vectors because they are not following the feet right now, right? So their follow value is 0. So I'll select both of these pole vectors also, and I'll click on object to curve. So some processing will happen and then it will be done. Something is definitely wrong. I'll just save this file. My Maya crashed, I guess. Whoops. I would have to restart Maya. Animbot takes some time to load into the scene, that's why it might lag a bit in the starting just after opening Maya. Let it load. Yeah, so now you can see the Animbot is here and we can start working again. So I think the script created these controllers, locators for the body controllers we had selected, right? So it's like the head, the chest, the hip, the root controller, both the legs, and both the pole vectors. So let's see if it's working fine, or we might have to create it again because Maya crashed in the last session, right? So I'll open the script again. So what I'll do is, as you can see, it's moving forward on this path. Where is the timeline? UI elements, time slider. So let's check it. Maybe I can select these yellow locators, and because they work as a FK chain, so I can rotate them however I want. So let's see. I'll turn off all these things and see if the raptor is following the path or not. So it's not following the path. We might have to redo the whole thing again. So that's not an issue. I'll select all the things related to this script and go to instruments and click on delete walking band objects. I'll again select this global controller, click on create curve from animation and put this curve in this option, and I select the head, the chest, the hip, the root, the feet controllers and both of the pole vectors, and click on object to curve. And I'll select the curve and click on create curve control. I'll turn on the locators. Where are these? Yeah. So let's see if it's working now. I hope it works. Yeah, it seems to be working now. Oh my bad. You don't have to select the curve. Okay, so you just need to rotate the locators. So yeah, now you can see it's following the curve according to the placement of the locators, and there's no feet sliding happening. This is the best part about this script. Even in the oops, I'll turn off the locators once, and you can see even in rotation, right, there's no feet sliding happening. So this is the best part about this script. Also you can create rock kind of attribute for the body, basically to give some tilts in the body. So this is followed 0. Okay, so I'll select the hip, the chest and the head. Okay, and I'll go to this vertical incline control option in the script and click on set vertical independent. Oh sorry, my bad, we have to select the locator instead of the controller directly. So I'll select the hip, I'll select the chest, I'll select the head and click set vertical independent. So you can see we have these 3 locators created. I'll move them downwards. Yeah, so if I select all these 3 and I can, you can see I can animate them right or left. So it won't happen too much with the walk. Maybe I can, but if it was a run cycle and it was taking turns, then this would have been too much useful. So when the body is, the raptor is turning towards screen left, maybe I can slightly add some tilt, and then again I'll add it towards the other side when it's turning towards the screen right. Then it might become 0, and then just before turning again. So I'm doing this to show you guys the features of this script and how they can be useful. So this is a sharp turn, so I have increased the value slightly, and then it can become 0 again to get back into the balance. So I'll just show none or 2. So let's see how it's looking now. Turns towards screen left, then towards screen right, and then again the sharp turn towards the screen left. So this is one thing. Another thing I would say we can do is, we have the locators for each of these controllers, right? So we can animate these locators also. So right now they are already have keys on each frame. So what I can do is I had put it on a layer, and I'll animate some head turns, like let's say when it's coming towards the screen left, right. So maybe I can lead it with the head. So this thing happens first, and along with rotation I'll put some translation also. And maybe it can become 0 again here. Here I might do it in the opposite side, as if it's trying to look around. I'm not doing it in too much detail. And maybe here it can again become 0. I'm doing this on an animation layer. Maybe I can move it slightly downwards here. And then again it can become 0. So something like this. So I'll turn on this. Let's see. This going down part is happening suddenly, so I'll give it some more time, some more frames. Yeah. So this is how we animate, a walk cycle on a path using this script specifically. I also have one more script called bhpath_anim. It is also a good script, but I find walking bend tool to be a bit more easier in terms of steps and the UI, and it's very simple to put the cycle on a path, and we don't get sliding in the foot. In bhpath we do not have sliding in terms of translation, but in rotations we definitely get sliding. So that's why I started using this script. In a separate video I'll try to show you how to manually do it using a path and some locators and motion path of the motion path constraint of Maya which we have by default. So what I'll do now is I'll bake these layers first. I'll turn off smart bake. Okay, so and then I'll select the controllers which we had attached through the script. So it's the head, the root, the hip, the chest, the feet and the pole vectors. Okay, and now what I'll do is I'll bake animation on all these controllers, and then I'll delete the script and the constraints applied on them. You can see the channel box is green because there are constraints applied on them, right? We had these locators, right? So these locators are driving the controllers right now. So we need to break the connection, but we want the animation to be transferred onto these controllers. So I'll select the body controllers and go to edit, keys, bake simulation. I'll go into the options, make sure it's set to default, sample by 1 and smart bake is off, and then I'll click on bake. But you should do this once only after you have finalized the animation, the walk cycle or the path. Otherwise you might have to go back and forth and do adjustments every time. So it's getting baked right now. Let's wait for it. And it's done. So what I'll do now is, you can see the controllers are already selected. I'll go into edit, delete by type and click on constraints, and you can see we still have the animation as it is. And now I can delete the walking bend system completely. So the script is gone, but you can see we still have the animation as it is, which we had done. It's moving on the path, and you can see the head turns also are happening here. It's moving down. So yeah, this looks good enough to me, and maybe I can take out a play blast. I'll take out a play blast first. 1920 1080 Raptor Walk Cycle _05. I try to name my play blast exact same as my Maya file. So the current Maya file is version 05, so I have named the play blast as version 05 only. You can even polish it even more, like with the head turns, the chest is not getting affected right now. So on a layer you can animate the chest also, like whenever the head is turning towards right, You can slightly rotate the chest towards right also, and you can give some overlaps in the hands, and give some variation in the hands. Right now it's the exact same cycle happening again and again. Something is wrong. That's okay. I'll open it in VLC. So yeah, this is how it's looking right now on a path. This is very rough, but yeah, it gives you some idea of how things are done. We can see the neck jiggles from this angle. So that was it regarding this Velociraptor Walk Cycle series. I would call it done for now. And let me know if you guys have any specific requests regarding a tutorial, like some specific animal or a creature you want me to animate, a run cycle or a walk cycle, or some idle animation maybe, or you want some rigging tutorials. Obviously I'm not a professional rigger, I don't do manual rigging too much. I use this script called advanced skeleton for my rigs, but I can definitely create some tutorials regarding advanced skeleton if you guys are interested in learning rigging for yourself and do some personal projects also. So let me know whatever you guys think, and I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much.